Every change has a reason.
Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. Hello my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we are going to do the joining of our squares. We're also going to do the final border. Now there are two different borders that you can use. For the baby version, Jeannie was telling me that she almost ran out of yarn, so she changed the baby version so that you would not have to crack open a new ball, and that's a quote, crack open. So what we have here is she's done a layout, and the layout is in the order of that. Now just because she did that doesn't mean that you have to follow that. You can do whatever you want, right? So here's what her suggestions are. People do require this because they would like to match exactly her sample. So the baby version is actually only 3 by 4, so I just highlighted it here what it is. So if you'd like to follow that example, that's the baby version, and if you want to make it much bigger, then you can come up with your own layout as well. So we're going to do a zigzag horizontal and vertical joining, and the reason why we decided that is that most crocheters will quit if they actually have to sew their squares together. So what we're going to do is join as you go method using the zigzag. So if you've done the spring stitch along with us back a couple years ago on the Crochet Crowd with Joanne, then it's actually the same join that you have, and you can see that that's what it is here. So on page number 2 you can kind of see the joining of the different versions. And what we're going to do for the border is that the borders are slightly different. So here is the main border itself, and then this is the baby one. So if you would like to use the baby border on the big one, there's nothing stopping you. There's no crochet police, and Jeannie lives far away anyway, so she can't come over to your house and and put you in line. So let's get involved today, and let's go through the steps on being able to do this. So the first step is to lay out all your squares. If you want to follow this example, great. If not, that's okay too. So let's just take you out a little bit further on my table here. So what you'll want to do is lay out everything and make sure that all the good sides are facing up, the right sides are facing up. Make sure all the tails are also dealt with as well. And what we're going to do is choosing a color. So the baby color to do the zigzagging or join is actually going to be B as in Bob, and then we're going to be using C for the main version if you would like to do that. And if you want to use a different version completely, that's up to you. Again, Jeannie lives far away. So what we want to do is that when we do the zigzag join, we're only joining in between, but what we need to do is join all the way across, all the way to the other side. So we and what I would do is that once you have that layer done here, if I bring you back to the sheet here, so I would join all this going across, and then I would grab the next one and join all the way across. So then you have all the joining all the way. The thing that you need to watch for the most is make sure that your squares still stay the right side up. Then once they're all joined in the horizontal, just turn your afghan and then just join the verticals like that. And how we jump across is going to matter. So I'm going to show you how it's going to go this way, and then I'm going to turn it and show you how to do the other way. So that, and really it's honestly the same. So let's without further ado, let's stop the chitter chatter. Oh, let me show you a little diagram just for this reference. It's not in your printout, but you can see it here. So here's the zigzag joining. This is actually the way it was in the Joanne stitch along. The reason why it's not part of your downloads here, and you can get this on the zigzag joining of our stitch along as well if you'd like, but because they used double crochets here, Jeannie thought you might be confused because there is no double crochets on the edge. It's all singles, but you can still use the same technique. The lining up of the stitches will work out. So we'll start off in the first space and then chain 1 and then attach to this space, chain 1, and then we come to the second one in, and then chain 1 and go to the second one in, chain 1, and then you keep skipping back and forth just like that. And then on the very end you will come into the very final and here, and then you'll just pick up again and chain 1 and then pick it up here and then continue along. So you just keep on going across, and when you turn it the other direction like this, you'll do the same thing but going in this direction. Okay, let's get started, and using the color C as in cat for the adult version, baby version B as in Bob. So let's begin and creating a slip knot to start, and I would start with a standing single crochet. We've talked about that within the series. So just going right in and already on the hook, just pull through and then pull through 2, and that's a standing single crochet. So just do that. Now you're going to chain 1 and you're going to single crochet directly to the one above. So I like just to pick them up so the right sides are facing up. Yes, they are. And I want to make sure of that. And I want to go into the chain 2 space on this side. So I'm coming from the bottom to the top and pulling it through like that. And I'm single crocheting. Then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to come and skip the next one out and go to the second single crochet, chain 1, and then on the top one I'm skipping 1 stitch and going to the second. So then single crochet that I just slip stitched. If you want to slip stitch you can. Again, Jeannie lives far away. I don't know why I'm saying that today. So single crochet, chain 1. So coming back down, skipping 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then back up, skipping 1, and then single crochet. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do that all the way till I get here, and then I'll show you how I will jump over. So don't fasten off, and I'll be back here in just a moment. So as I'm coming across, I'm just on the top one here. I'm not quite at the chain 2 space yet, so I'm at the top one. I'm gonna come into the chain, I've already chained 1 and I'm gonna come into this one, and then I'm gonna chain 1 and come into the chain 2 space at this side. Okay, so make sure that both the chain 2 spaces have something. Now you're just gonna, this is the very end, you will not chain 1, you'll just fasten off at this point. But if you're ready for the next section here, what you're going to do is, now that you're on the top, you're gonna come into the chain 2 space that is directly diagonal, single crochet, and then chain 1, and then get the chain 2 space of the next one up here, chain 1, and then skipping 1 and go to the second, and chain 1, and skipping 1 up here, go to the second, and you'll do that all the way across. So this is how you're going to jump across, and then when we come back the next time, we're going to come in this direction and secure the deal. So let's continue to go across. So go all the way across and do all your horizontals this way. I'll see you at the end of this line just to make sure that you do fasten off properly, and then I'll turn it and show you the other way. So I'm coming all the way across, and I'm just jumping down the last chain 2 space, chain 1, and then get that chain 2 space in the top, and then single crochet. So if I had more to go, then I will chain 1 and then jump to the bottom, chain 1, jump to the top, and continue along. But in my case I'm done now. So I'm just going to fasten this off. I've been showing you weaving in techniques throughout each of the tutorials, so you should know how to do it at this point. And if you're not sure, let me just quickly demonstrate that so that I have that covered, my bases here. So I'm just going to throw it through a tapestry needle and stay within the actual outside stitch work, so just gliding it through. So once, and slightly different path, twice, and 3 times is the right answer. Okay, and you'll want to do that with your starting chain as well, or your starting strand. So now you're going to do all of those going up, and then when you're ready you're going to turn the afghan sideways and then begin, and this is considered vertical, so we'll turn it and then we'll start this way and begin the next one. So it's exactly what you already know, so you may not even have to watch the next part. So let's continue to do that next. So let's start going in this direction. So we're gonna cross over the joins as you go, so that they'll be joined all in the verticals at this point when you have this turned. Again, starting in the bottom, standing single crochet, chain 1, go to the chain 2 on this side, and then chain 1, and then skipping 1 and coming down, and then chain 1, skipping 1 at the top, and single crochet, and chain 1, skipping 1, coming down, and etc. So I'll see you at the join right here in just a moment. So I'm just now coming down, and I'm coming into the bottom one here, and chain 1, and I'm coming up to the chain 2 space. So it's gonna share the same one because there's already something there, and that was when we were attaching in the other direction. So chain 1, and then just simply cross over and go into the chain 2 of this one, and chain 1, and go into the chain 2 of the next one, which is already having something because of the way that was joined before, and then chain 1 and skipping 1 and start again. So when you're crossing over, you're just jumping right across like that. Okay, so everything is being filled in like so, and you'll continue along, and how I showed you how we finished here is what you're going to do. So I'm gonna leave this in your capable hands and then do all your layers up, and then when we come back we'll start our border in just a moment. So now that this thing has been put together, so you'll have obviously your whole thing, we're going to move on to the first round of the border. Now for the big size, we are going to do the color C. So we're going to continue the same color that we did the attaching. For the baby size though, you're going to switch to the color A. Both first rounds are the same regardless if it's baby size or not. So what I need you to do is that when we're going across something like this, Jeannie says to evenly space out single crochet, so you'll put one in the chain 2 space, and then she put 2 single crochets into this space, 1 single crochet into this space, and then 1 single crochet into the chain 2. So just remember that there's 3 single crochets when it's jumping over the borders like this, and then jumping over the joins. And the corners, it's 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. So let's begin. You can start with a standing single crochet if you want to, and just go right into the corner, the very corner of your blanket. It doesn't matter which one, and do your standing single crochet. So you're going to slam in 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way across, and then when you get to that first join, I'll show you what to do there, and then you'll do the same thing for all of your joins, and then you'll end up hitting the next corner and eventually down the road. So let me get there first. Okay, I just had to frog it out a little bit. I was so excited about it I forgot to film it. So when you come into this chain 2 space, fill it in with the single. This space here, see how it's longer than the other side of it, so make sure you put 2 in there. So if the long side is on this side of there, just still make sure there's 2, and then on the short side just make sure there's 1, and then just jump into the chain 2 space and then continue along, and then just start with your stitches once again. And so that should equally space it. And Jeannie's given us the keys to the kingdom for the next part of this round, so if we have to fandangle it a little bit, we can. So continue all the way around just using the same concept. Remember the corners are 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming to the end of round number 1, and I just want to join it when I get there. So remember we have to finish off that corner, so it's 1 single crochet in the corner, and then you can do a half double crochet join if you want to. So just wrapping the hook, going into the top of the first single crochet and pulling it through all 3. So fasten that off. We're gonna get ready for the colors. So for the full size version you're gonna go to the color A. For baby size we're gonna do C. I'm going to show you the baby size first because it's easier, and then I'll show you the full size and just after that. So we're going to start with the baby size first for round number 2. You're going to attach to a chain 2 space, and it's a V stitch. So the corners for this one are going to be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So just join it in chain 3 and double crochet back into there, and we'll finish that corner when we get back around. Now you're going to skip the next stitch out, and you are going to V stitch and then stitch after that. So it's going to be a double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet into the same stitch. Then you are going to skip 2 stitches and then go to the third like that, and then V stitch. So single crochet, or sorry, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then skipping 2 stitches and doing that. Now you had to evenly space out your single crochets, so it's very possible that when you get to the other side here on the other corner is that you will be short. So what Jeannie's suggesting that you do is that if you feel like you're ending too soon, just throw in another double crochet before you end up in a corner. Corners, remember, are 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. If you're getting pretty close to it, just do it as normal. Okay, so technically you would be skipping the last stitch and then just putting in your corner spaces in there. The nice thing about this is that round number 3 for both of them are just 1 single crochet in each. So if you have to make it special in a way to get it to keep it going flat, you can do so, because the next round doesn't really matter. So this is just a V stitch, so skipping 2 and etc., and you're gonna go all the way around. So just make sure that you just get up into the next corner just fine, and just use your imagination if it's not working out for you, and just fill in a space there with an extra double crochet and etc. And that's something that you can decide to do for yourself as well. So I'm gonna leave that in your hands. Part of a stitch along is to have creativity, so if you have to fandangle it you can. So let me show you what the full size version looks like, and that's gonna be using the color A. So let's use the full size version for round number 2. You're going to join it to a corner. Again, just join and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Corners on this round are going to be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So we have to put in another double crochet there, and we'll finish that corner when you get back around. Now in this particular one is that you were going to just skip the first 2 stitches out. Okay, so you're going to do that, and then you're going to do a treble. So wrapping the hook twice, so skipping 2, and you go to the third and treble, and this is gonna cause it to lean over. And the ones that you skipped, you're just gonna throw in a double crochet, so keeping the treble in front of your work so that it stays visible to the good side of the project like that. Okay, so then you'll treble again, so you're going to skip the next 2 empty and go to the third like that, and then you're going to double crochet into the ones that you skipped. Again, like we did with the baby version, your stitches should technically work out, but if it doesn't, throw in an extra double crochet, maybe 2 if you need to, in order to get it to the final corner, and then the corners are chain 2, or sorry, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And so you're going to just follow that around, and so when you start the next side, then just make sure that you start off correctly. So you're just gonna put in your corner, skipping 2, 1 treble into there, and then come and double crochet into the ones that you skipped. So I'm gonna leave that in your capable hands, and I will see you back here in just a moment as we continue the final round, which is essentially just 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. So when you come back all the way around, just make sure that you fill in the final corner with the 2 double crochet, and then you could do a half double crochet join to the top of the chain 3. And therefore that's what it looks like. So this is the full-size version, and let's just fasten this off and do your final round number 3, which is the same for both. So let's do your final corner. In this particular round, the final corners are going to be 3 single crochets each. So start off with a single in there, and then put 2 more singles if you would like to. And if you would just want to do 1 and then start and then do the other 2 when you get back, that's up to you as well. So just put in 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around, and then that's it. So just make sure corners have 3 single crochet, and each of the stitches all the way down, up and down the sides are all just 1 single crochet. When you get back around, you've already done it if you've done it like this, so just join it with a slip stitch, fasten off, you're done. If you just decided to do 1 single crochet in here, make sure that you just put your 2 in there and then join it, and that's up to you. So this is it for our series. This is where I'm going to leave you today. We hope that you enjoy, and this has been a really cool series. Actually, Jeannie developed this over a weekend back a few months ago, and it's just really quite awesome, and that's a lot of great learning opportunities. So until next time, we hope to see you again here in the Crochet Crowd with lots of new ideas coming your way for 2021. We'll see you. Bye bye.